Let's talk a little bit about this, and we talked about this in the T's, a green card and a visa. What is the difference between the two, and how does it apply to a person who's trying to come to the U.S.?
Okay, so a green card is a document that provides permanent status in the U.S. There is a different type of a green card. There is a conditional green card, which is only good for 2 years, but generally speaking, a green card is permanent residency in the U.S. And the folks that hold that document, they generally have all the rights of a U.S. citizen, just about, except they are not able to vote. Okay. So and they usually hold citizenship from another country. So those people that are authorized to work, to go to school, and they are able to live in the U.S. indefinitely without having to renew the visa or worry about that. Okay. A visa, on the other hand, is usually a temporary status in the U.S., and it expires at some point, and people have to confirm to the U.S. government that they are continuing to do whatever it is that they obtained their visa for. For example, if they're students, they have to remain full-time students to be able to continue with that visa. If they are workers, they have to remain in that job to be able to hold that work visa. So, and of course, the fiancé visa is only good for 90 days, and people have to get married within the 90 days or that visa is expired. So there is a multitude of temporary visas, but that visa is only usually good for a limited period of time and for a limited purpose.
Okay. Did you have a question? Absolutely.
Yeah. So, okay. One of the, we see all the video of the border crisis and all the people coming across illegally. Can you talk to our viewers about, okay, just so people understand, all right, if you're in another country, pick any country, Venezuela, and you decide, hey, I want to immigrate to the United States, but I don't want to, be on the border trying to cross, in the dark of night. What is the process? What does someone like that have to do? Where does it start, that process to legally immigrate into the United States?
Generally speaking, for most people, there are two ways to come to the U.S. And I'm not talking here about, there are other ways for professional athletes or for people that are able to invest in the businesses in the U.S. I'm not talking about those two things. But generally speaking, to be able to immigrate to the United States, you need to be sponsored by either your employer or your family member. So the family members, it has to be an immediate relative to be able to provide an immigrant visa to the spouse or parent or child. So you need that relationship to an immediate family member who is a U.S. citizen, and that, of course, is not a lot of people that are able to immigrate that way. It's, generally speaking, people that are coming from Latin America, they are bringing their entire families. They're not usually related to anyone in the U.S. Then the employment-based immigration, there are ways to come to the U.S. through employers, but you need a job offer and you need to be able to rely on that employer to sponsor you throughout the process. It's not a simple process either. It costs money, there are government fees, there are attorney fees associated with that. And the problem for most folks is that to find that job, they want to be in the U.S. to be able to apply for work and to find that one employer that would sponsor them. What many people do not know is once you're in the U.S. unlawfully, we call people like that undocumented immigrants, right? So they're here unlawfully. Even if you are here unlawfully for just one day, you're no longer usually eligible for any type of employment-based visa.
Thank you for that explanation. I think that's a really good question that a lot of folks want to know. So thank you for breaking that down so succinctly for us. As you can tell, Natasha, very knowledgeable about this process, so we want to help tonight. So